Hi, I'm Dawn from Woodland Manufacturing, and I wanted to give you a few tips on how to paint our indoor wood letters. They can be painted with a brush or spray painted. We will show you how to paint wood letters using both methods. Painting with a brush is the most common way to finish wood letters. You will need a bristle or sponge brush, 220 grit sandpaper, acrylic paint, a damp cloth, and paper to protect your work surface. Our thinner letters will have a dark burnt edge from being cut with the laser. Painting over this edge with light to medium colors may take 2 to 5 coats depending on the kind of paint, and dark colors 2 to 3 coats. Once the sides are coated, sand the drips of paint off of the face of the letter. The MDF fibers tend to swell and get fuzzy when painted. If you want, you can run a damp cloth around the letter to really get those fibers to show themselves for sanding. Wipe off any residual sawdust with a damp cloth. Paint the face of the letter with brush strokes in the same direction, and if there is a wood grain, paint in the same direction as the grain. For a more finished look, lightly sand the painted brushstrokes between coats. Painting thicker wood letters like 1/2 inch is a little easier because they're cut with a router and have a clean edge. The process is the same. Paint the sides first, sand excess paint on the face and sides if your letter is made of MDF, and then paint the face. Spray painting the letters works best with dark colors and metallics. Light colors can be difficult to get solid coverage on the entire letter. For this project, you will need some spray paint, a damp cloth, a protected and well-ventilated work surface, and possibly some 220 grit sandpaper. Raise the letter off of the surface with a couple spare pieces of wood or just anything small to put under the letter. Also, it is a good idea to follow the instructions on the paint can. Start by painting the sides. Flip the letter upside down so you don't get paint buildup on the face. Hold the can about 8 to 12 inches away from the side of the letter and start spraying the perimeter of the letter in light and short bursts. If your letter is MDF, run a damp cloth over the dried paint and sand the exposed fibers down. Wipe the dust off of the letter and apply a second coat of paint. Make sure you have allowed enough time for the paint to dry and cure as indicated in the instructions on the can. Once dry, flip the letter over and give a light coat of paint to the face. Start to spray on the outside of the letter and work in without stopping until the can is past the letter on the other side. Work back and forth in a sweeping motion, always starting and ending outside the letter to reduce buildup. Apply additional coats as needed according to the paint instructions. Wood letters can be finished with a paintbrush or spray paint. If this seems like too much hassle, we are happy to paint your letters for you in our professional paint booth before we ship them out. If you have any questions, please contact us and we'll be happy to help. I'm Dawn with Woodland Manufacturing, and thanks for watching.